doing that and saying pause too much is
Right.
happening.
I need
Right, but I think why is it our community, our society that people want to judge versus saying, whoa, pause, are you good? Are you okay? Let me just pray for you. Or let me just send some light vibes, some love vibes, some comfort, some whatever it is, your direction. Why is it that we're not, I think our ancestors were more sympathetic. Like, we're not as sympathetic.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
I don't think we are.
We are not just destigmatized, but we are desensitized. That's really the word. We're desensitized to even having empathy and compassion for one another.
Right.
And now there's two components that there's the fact that yes, she is a celebrity, right?
Right.
And people feel like celebrities are not people, and they
got whole blood veins and hearts
and all that.
going
they
through
beat, right? But people think that they're not necessarily people, that they have the right to pry into their lives.
Like we have rights to them.
Yes. That we literally own rights to them because I can tag you, because I can give you support, because I watch your show. Now I have an input into your life. So that actually happens in our daily lives, and we do that with each other. So yes, there are a lot of stigmas and everything that comes along with that. However, they are human beings just like we are, and that's why she had to break from the world. So that's that part. But then there's also another part where, the stigmas and the shame, we feed into it so much that the stigmas and the shame aren't the necessary starter anymore. So basically you can have, I almost look at it as that easy button, like that Staples, that's easy, right? It's almost like we have made it that easy for society's obsessions society's oppressions onto us. We feed that to ourselves. So even as women, we can maybe have some type of compassion for our girlfriend or some type of compassion for someone who's close to us, but let it be someone else outside of ourselves. We will judge them for the person that we want them to be, right? Or we think they should be, and not understanding that they're a whole human being as well. They go through things, they have life, they have children who are unruly, they have all these different stresses in their lives just like we do.
Right.
But we take that empathy and that compassion out when it comes to that.
Okay, so here's the second part to what I'm about to say. So Wendy herself said she had a hot girl summer. And people try to be all judgy about it. I'm like, the woman's going through divorce. She decided to go out here and live her best life. She turned 50. She finally done left a toxic relationship because apparently there was some toxic stuff going on. She got herself together and said, I'm pulling myself up by my big girl panties. Even though she ain't got no big booty, y'all. When it flat as the day is.
Lord have mercy.
But she went out here and tried to live her best life, and people still judged.
Yeah.
And it was just like, but my thing was, something that she may not have done, and I've never, as far as I can recall of being aware of Wendy Williams, have ever heard of her being a partier. Except back in the days when she was, in substance abuse, drug, which is one of the reasons a lot of people who are recovering addicts of whatever, they don't party because they don't put themselves in those type of positions, or they're very
or it's triggering for them.
Right, they're very conscious of what type of environments or situations, parties, or type of things that they go and be involved in, the people that they're around.
But this time her turn up was different.
It was a different turn up. But my thing is, anybody in our generation, we didn't grow up hearing about Wendy Williams being the turn up queen.
No,
you didn't know nothing about that Wendy Williams.
Right. So
you know what I'm saying?
You see her, and you
turn it up, and you like, oh, she getting it in.
Right, and you look at her as the I don't know, the mammy that kind of takes care of everybody else because we
the auntie
and talking.
She's like the auntie.
Right.
That fast talking, crazy talking auntie.
Right.
And now she turn it up, get it
right. And auntie can't get her groove back, and that's basically what that is. But it's not
even
getting her groove.
Right.
But it's not even getting her groove back. She's a whole woman, and she has an entire life And she realizes, she even said it, she said her son is grown. She said her son is in college now. So she waited. And that's a lot of times women wait, and that's unfortunate. She literally waited to live her best life, but
and you want to know what? Well, I think a lot of that, and I'm going to tie this in, a lot of times in our community and our society, our generational curses and things of that nature, people wait till their kids get grown to leave toxic relationships. Even though it might not have been her initial intent to leave it and not deal with him no more, I think the baby situation was the final straw. But it all coincided with he's grown.
It's messed up. That's messed up.
It's messed up. That's our training of thought.
Because when you go back to those children, and you poll children that were in toxic relationships, and then you poll children that mothers and fathers realize, okay, look, this is just not going to work, and we split. The children that are in the toxic relationship would have rather had their parents
not be together,
and not been together, because it then taught them how to be in a toxic relationship.
Yeah, because what you see growing up is what you pretty much think is normal. That's a norm. It's
embedded, and it by the time they're adolescents, it's already embedded into them.
Yeah, and that's right. That goes into the abusive domestic violence type of situations, that when kids grow up seeing it, they think that that's normal. That's how a relationship is supposed to go.
That's exactly it.
But I think the sad part is we even have where people believe that even if they do divorce, they still live together until the kids is grown. And then everybody's looking like, wait a minute, you've been divorced how long?
Yeah, I know entire couples that got divorced 20-something years ago, and they still live in the same exact house. She still takes care of X, Y, and Z. He's in the other room, and he still goes to work. They still live as a couple, but
I know people who live together literally till their last kid left the house, and then they was just like, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Like,
but yeah, no, staying in that toxic relationship, and that can be an entire conversation.
It's gonna have to be.
That can be an entire conversation that we can have. But this is for men and women. For men, stay in those same relationships for the same reasons women do.
Right.
They say, okay, well, it's a better situation. I don't have to be on any additional child support. I don't have to be on any, or it's just better for my children if I stay.
Right.
Same thing with the women. Okay, well, it's better to have a 2-person household because I grew up in a 1-person household, right? So we just want to give that one thing that we never had, and the whole time you're messing up the entire
And I think
time.
that's another thing that our culture has, that we keep saying we want our kids to have something or be better, have a better childhood than what we had, but sometimes that, like you said, it always ain't there.
No, it's not, and it's a backfire to it. We don't think about it. So a lot of times, women will do that, and they'll give their children.
Men will do it too.
Oh God, yes, they'll give their children. So with me and my husband, one of the things that we used to do all the time, my mother used to say, "You're going to outdo yourself." And 1 year, you're going to sit up and be like, "You can't keep giving these gifts every single year. You're going to outdo yourself. They're too young for these. They can't appreciate it." And we're thinking, what? Because I used to work. I worked since I was 14 because I knew for a fact that my mother would get me what I needed, but not necessarily what I wanted. So I had to go to work to get those things. For my husband, it was the same thing, except for he was kind of deprived of some of those things as well. So when it came to us buying gifts, I'm thinking, 1 or 2 things, that's it. No. Everybody has to have the equal amount of gifts and everything else, which was crazy. So we kind of went to the extreme, and you have your children then not necessarily appreciating those gifts and appreciating all that stuff that you struggled for, and you wish that they would have. Now they're entitled. Now they expect it.
Baby, these babies out here spoiled, rotten, entitled brats.
Right.
I'ma say
now I'm not wearing it unless it has a name on it. Now I'm not wearing shoes unless they're Jordans. Now I'm not wearing.
I wish my
I'm not going to school unless my hair is done this way, or unless I have my nails done. You're like, hold on, wait a second. You want to? What?
Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I ain't got that.
Yeah.
Because I'll be in prison. Woo, child. Okay, so I guess the lesson or the message that I wanted to convey is that every time, I think a lot of people think that all the time the goal is marriage, kids, successful career, but you don't know what goes on behind those closed doors. And when you so focus on marriage, career, kids, home life, and you lose yourself, it's hard to hit that restart button. So she's an example of, she put her all into being that recovering actor, that mother, that wife, this career person, and building this brand, to all of a sudden have it implode and be like, okay, now what? Like, for 20-something years, you've lived that way.
Yes.
And now you got to figure it out. And nobody knows that person.
No.
They don't know you. They know this person, not this you by yourself.
You. They just know the last person that they met.
Yeah,
so
they don't know they don't know
you.
you by yourself. They know you by these titles and these roles.
Yep.
Roping that back around.
And that's it.
They know you by these roles and this title. And so now that you're not those things, and you're like, I'm about to go out here and live my best life, and people are looking like, what is you going through? Right. No, it's not going through. I'm loving me first. Right. I'm taking care of me. I'm doing my self-care. I'm doing my self-love, because I had to walk away from this toxic stuff, and I can't love my child. I can't love my partner. I can't love my family. I can't take care of my family if I'm not okay, because I've been in this role, in this title, in this toxicity all this time.
And that's the catch-22. So you live in the toxicity, you live in the role, you live in all of that to say that one day I'm going to graduate from this. And then when you so-called graduate from it, you still have all the effects from it to deal with. So
it's a revolving circle.
It's a revolving circle. And then on top of it, now, since you didn't deal with it when you're supposed to, that's a slap on the hand. So how dare you go deal with your stuff right now? You know, that's how people treat other folks. And that's how we treated Wendy Williams. Or how like a lot of people did.
Yeah, or like people who go through that type of thing. Because honestly, I hate to say it, statistically, 40s and 50s and 60s is when a lot of people are having these midlife crises, these issues, or dealing with infidelity, or saying enough's enough, and they're coming out of toxic relationships, or their kids are grown, moving out, and they're like, I don't even like you, I don't want to be in this no more. And I think versus questioning them, I think versus having the stigma, we should love them.
Yes.
Stop and love them, and just let them be, and let them be their own person, and be in their moment. So definitely think we can make this another conversation. But I think she was a good example of like somebody that had to stop and say, wait a minute. Yeah, I've got to find me again. And she did. Yeah. She still is. I don't think that she's all the way still okay. And I don't think any person ever really just gets over anything quickly like that.
That's not the reality of
it's not an easy, I'm divorcing him and I'm good. No, not at all. But I think she's actually trying to deal with it in an actual healthy way. And I think that people need to learn that sometimes that saying, okay, I got out of this relationship where my kids are grown and gone, and I'm about to go turn up a couple good times. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
don't let society make you think that you're like losing your mind or you're doing too much because you decided, you know what, I'm about to go be an adult for a little bit.
Right.
I'm gonna go have adult fun for a little while. There's nothing wrong with that. People.
There's nothing wrong with sitting down and having a glass of wine and unloading. There's nothing wrong with sitting down and talking with your girlfriends and
there's nothing wrong with hopping on the plane and going out of town.
Bye. And unloading.
I'm just saying,
there's absolutely nothing.
There's nothing wrong with dating later in life. There's nothing wrong with moving on. There is nothing wrong with finding and loving you, the real you, not the you people have put upon you, but loving the real you and enjoying the real you
and figuring out who the real you is, so you can enjoy you.
And that's it. There you have it, people. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Meeting in the Ladies Room KY Radio. We are here live at the Power 106.3 FM studio, 1151 South 4th Street. 1151 South 4th Street. We're located off of 4th and Oak. in Old Louisville. You can find us at www.kyheartmedia.com. You can find us on all streaming platforms.